first I need to understand what is limiting reagent. See, limiting reagent is the reactant that gets completely consumed in the reaction. Okay, what does it mean? If I have two reactants and one is getting completely consumed in the reaction while for other reactants some amount is left, then the reactant that is being completely consumed, that would be your limiting reagent. Okay. The reactant that gets completely consumed in the reaction is your limiting reagent. Now let us understand it by an example. Okay, just like imagine a condition. Okay, now it's all our imagination. Just say you all are chilling at your home like you people are doing right now. Okay, and suddenly some guests come to your home. Okay, and your mother asked you to go and make tea for all. There are four guests and you have to make 4 cups of tea for them. Is it clear? So now you have to make 4 cups of tea. Fine. Now, generally, when we prepare tea, we keep half proportion of milk and water, keeping sugar, tea leaves aside. Okay, keeping them as the secondary material, let us keep our main ingredients as the water and milk. Yes or no? So we usually keep the half and half proportion, isn't it? Yes, everyone. Am I audible? Okay. So what can I say for it? I need 2 cups water plus 2 cups milk to form 4 cups of tea. Now I need to understand this. We all have water in enough amount at our home. Yes or no? Water is always present in enough amount. So you separated 2 cups of water. But when you go to take the milk from the refrigerator, you just see that only 1 cup of milk is left. Okay, just 1 cup of milk is available to you. Available. 1 cup milk. Fine. Now, with 1 cup of milk, I know only 1 cup of water will be consumed. Yes, rest 1 cup will not be consumed. Yes or no? Yes, everyone. With 1 cup of milk, only 1 cup of water will be consumed. It means 1 cup of water will be left. Isn't it? With 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of water will be consumed and 1 cup would be left. So what can I say? My water is excess reagent as it is left after the reaction is done. This is my excess reagent. And the reactant that is getting completely consumed in the reaction, limiting reagent. Am I clear to you? This will be my limiting reagent. Next thing, with 1 cup of milk and 1 cup of water that is being used, how much tea would you be able to make? Yes, how much tea you would be able to make? Just 2 cups of tea. Product would be 2 cups of tea. So what does this mean? The amount of product that is getting formed depends upon the amount of the limiting reagent and not on the amount of excess reagent. Yes or no? The amount of product that is being formed depends upon the amount of limiting reagent. Is it clear, everyone? Yes? Am I clear to you? Okay, so now note down the next step. These two will be very important. Okay, so the next would be the amount of product formed depends upon the amount of limiting reagent and not upon the amount of excess reagent. Is it clear, everyone? Yes. Am I clear to you? Is that clear? Clear to everyone? Fine. Now let us proceed and see how to calculate limiting reagent in the question. Okay, if some amount is given to us, then how I will see? See, I'll give you one easy method to check it like very fastly, like what is your limiting reagent in the reaction. Okay, let us discuss this by the help of one reaction. For example, I say the question is calculate the amount of ammonia formed by the reaction of 28 gram of nitrogen gas and 3 gram of, just a minute, 12 gram of hydrogen gas. Okay, also tell which is the limiting reagent. Okay, now let us see the question. It says ammonia is being formed from the reaction of nitrogen and hydrogen. Let us write the reaction first. Okay, the reaction would be N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. Fine, everyone. Now what amount is given to me? Let us see that. 28 gram of the nitrogen gas. Fine. 28 gram nitrogen gas. 12 gram of the hydrogen gas. Let us calculate number of moles for both. So number of moles would be 28 gram divided by 28 gram. That is 1 mole. And this would be 12 gram divided by 2 gram. That is 6 mole. Okay, so I have 1 mole of nitrogen gas with 6 mole of hydrogen gas. Okay, now to find the limiting reagent, I can do one thing. Divide your number of moles by your stoichiometric coefficient. Clear? Divide your number of moles by your stoichiometric coefficient. I can see for nitrogen, my stoichiometric coefficient is 1 and my stoichiometric coefficient for hydrogen is 3. Yes or no? So just calculate n by stoichiometric coefficient value. The number of moles is 1 divided by its stoichiometric coefficient is 1. So it is equals to 1. Okay. Next is the number of moles for hydrogen is 6. Its stoichiometric coefficient is 3. So the value is 2. Now compare these two values. Compare these two. No, there would be no unit for this. Okay, Dana? For this quantity, there would be no unit. It is just a comparable quantity. Clear? What can I say? The substance which will be having a lower value of number of moles by stoichiometric coefficient will be your limiting reagent. Clear? So that reactant which have a lesser value of the number of moles by stoichiometric coefficient will be your limiting reagent. So you can note it down. The reactant that has a lower value of number of moles by stoichiometric coefficient will be the limiting reagent. limiting reagent. Fine. So what can I say here? The lower value is for the nitrogen, that is 1. So here my limiting reagent is nitrogen. Clear everyone? So my limiting reagent would be nitrogen. Now I need to understand one thing. I have found my limiting reagent and I know the amount of product formed depends upon the amount of limiting reagent. I have told you this. The amount of product formed depends upon the amount of limiting reagent. Okay. So this means if 1 mole of nitrogen forms 2 moles of the ammonia, 1 mole nitrogen forms 2 mole NH3. Okay. Then how much amount do I have? Only 1 mole, na? Yes, I have only 1 mole. So this means 2 mole of NH3 will be formed. Is it clear? So this means the amount of the ammonia will be 2 mole and its mass would be number of moles into molar mass, that is 34 grams. Is it clear? Okay, Kirtana, see, what did I say? First write the reaction. Whatever mass is given to you for the reactants, with that calculate the number of moles. Okay. To find the limiting reagent, learn one thing, calculate the number of moles by stoichiometric coefficient value. Okay. The reagent or the reactant that will have a lower value of n by stoichiometric coefficient will be your limiting reagent. Then with that limiting reagent, find the value of your product. Is it clear everyone? Yes. Now is it clear? Or any doubt is there? Clear now? Very good. Now just note down one more question. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Let me embed some questions. Okay, let me embed some questions. Then we will do those questions, and 2 would be for you for the homework. Clear? Yes. Is it clear, everyone? 1 I'll solve here, and 2 you people will solve. Just give me 1 second and let me embed the questions. Debangan, just a minute. Just give me a moment. Let me embed it. Yes, am I visible now? Yes, everyone. Am I audible and visible? Am I audible, everyone? Yes. Okay, fine. Let me refresh. Let me refresh. Everyone, please stop. Let me refresh it. Yes, am I audible and visible now? Yes. Am I audible and visible now? Fine. Just wait for a moment. Let me embed the questions. Okay, everyone? Wait for a moment. Okay. Now let us see the questions. Fine. This question you people will do yourself at home. Okay. If we will get time, we will discuss it right now. But first I'll discuss another question. Okay. So this is for you people to practice. We will see next question. Now just see this question. This question says 4-gram mixture. Okay. There is a 4-gram mixture of CaCO3 and SiO2 sand is treated with an excess of HCl. Fine. CaCO3 is given to you and SiO2 is given to you. Can you tell me the sand? Does sand react with HCl? Yes. Sand or glass reacts with HCl. Do you think so? Answer is no. SiO2 plus HCl, there would be no reaction. But do metal carbonates react with HCl? Yes. Do metal carbonates react with HCl? Answer is yes. Metal carbonates react with HCl to form salt, water and CO2. CaCl2 plus H2O plus CO2. 2HCl. Yes or no? Fine. Now I need to understand what is given to me. 0.88 gram of the carbon dioxide is getting formed. Okay. 0.88 gram of CO2 is being formed. Okay. Now if it is 0.88 gram, then what will be the number of moles for it? It would be 0.88 divided by 44 grams. Yes or no? It would be 0.02 mole. Yes, this much part is clear to you? Yes, everyone. Is this much part clear or any problem is there? Yes. So this means 0.02 mole is being formed in the reaction. Now from the reaction, I can see my stoichiometry that says 1 mole of CO2 forms from 1 mole of the calcium carbonate. Yes or no? 1 mole CO2 forms from 1 mole CaCO3. How much CO2 is getting formed? For 0.02 mole of CO2 forms from 0.02 mole of calcium carbonate. Yes, this much is clear, everyone? Yes. Is this much part clear? Now 0.02 mole of calcium carbonate means mass would be equals to number of moles, that is 0.02 into 100, that is 2 grams. Yes or no? This means out of the 4-gram mixture, there is 2 gram calcium carbonate and obviously 2 gram would be silica, that is SiO2. Now what do I need to find? I need to find percentage of calcium carbonate. So percentage of calcium carbonate would be my mass of calcium carbonate, that is 2 gram, divided by mass of the mixture, that is 4 grams, into 100, that is 1 by 2 into 100 equals to 50%. Am I clear to you, everyone? Yes. Is it clear? Or any doubt is there? Yes, everyone. Any doubt? Any problem? No doubt? Everything is clear? Yes, everyone? Sure, Praveena. Praveena, just understand. See, I have been given a mixture of 2 substances. Okay. Those 2 substances in the mixture are calcium carbonate and silica. Okay. The mixture is being treated with excess of HCl. Clear? Now I know one thing, silica does not react with HCl, so there would be no reaction between these two. Yes or no? But calcium carbonate is a basic substance, metal carbonate. You have studied this in 10th standard, no? Calcium carbonate reacts with the HCl to form salt, water and CO2. Isn't it? So calcium chloride would be formed, water would be formed and CO2 will be formed. Is it clear, everyone? Yes. Am I clear to you? Okay. Now, Praveena, you can see from your reaction, 1 mole of CO2 requires 1 mole of calcium carbonate. Yes, Praveena? This much is clear now. 1 mole of calcium carbonate, 1 mole of CO2 requires 1 mole of calcium carbonate. But how much CO2 is getting formed in the reaction? It is 0.08 gram means 0.02 moles. Yes or no? If 1 mole CO2 requires 1 mole calcium carbonate, to 0.02 mole of CO2 will require a 0.02 mole of calcium carbonate. Can I say this thing? Yes, 0.02 mole of the calcium carbonate. So this means mass of calcium carbonate would be its number of moles into its molar mass. That is 100 grams. So 0.02 into 100 equals to 2 grams. Is that clear?